Hey everyone, Macmania Presents here with a new video review, and from now until I can afford some decent recording equipment, I'm looking to be presenting me movie reviews in this new format with my audio over images from the film. So for video games, it will remain very similar to past video reviews with audio over actual gameplay. I have been wanting to do another video for quite some time now, but I've had work and I've had family, and I really do want to keep this part-time Christmas job that I've got at the moment. Um, so this is the first time I've actually managed to get around to really working on a video review. But I did want to do a movie review today because this movie has been on my mind now for a good few weeks, and I feel as a fan of the subject in particular, I do need to address it. So today's movie review is for Bohemian Rhapsody, directed by both Bryan Singer and Dexter Fletcher. Yeah, I'm crediting Dexter Fletcher, despite what the movie and the director's agency or whatever it is says. So anyway, a quick background history check on Bohemian Rhapsody. It was originally announced all the way back in 2010 with Sacha Baron Cohen set to star as Freddie Mercury. However, by 2013 he dropped out due to creative differences with producers and supposedly the remaining members of Queen, Brian May and Roger Taylor, after he supposedly wanted to tell the darker side of Mercury's life. Now, we'll flash forward to this year, and the long-awaited biopic for Queen has been released, with a new Mercury at the helm in the form of Rami Malek. So, before I talk a little more about the actual film, I need to get this straight out of the way. Rami Malek is phenomenal in this movie, and as a fan who has followed his work from Night at the Museum to stuff like Until Dawn, I'm honestly not afraid to say this has been his greatest performance in his career, and I honestly would be very happy to bet money on him to win an Academy Award. I feel the way he portrayed the complexity of the character between his struggles with his sexuality, drug addiction, and loneliness. It's just he portrayed it so remarkably. It's also worth pointing out as well that this is one of the few big mainstream movies to star an LGBT protagonist at the helm, which does bring a bit more mainstream awareness to that society of people. So anyway, back to the movie. Bohemian Rhapsody starts in the year 1970 when Farrokh Bulsara, aka Freddie Mercury, watches the band Smile perform at a nightclub the same night their lead singer quits. Bulsara introduces himself to the guitarist Brian May and drummer Roger Taylor as they decide to then work together. We then flash forward a few years. The band are now going by the name of Queen, they've released 3 hit albums, and they're looking to work on their 4th one, A Night at the Opera, which contains a very unconventional hit that became a song of legend, Bohemian Rhapsody. So, essentially, what follows then is essentially the rise and fall of Queen, and then the ultimate rise back again that made them the true musical legends they are today. So, I feel it's worth mentioning that the entire cast, in addition to Malek, are superb, with my personal highlights being the other members of Queen portrayed superbly by Gwilym Lee, Ben Hardy, and Joe Mazzello, who play Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon respectively. In addition to this, Lucy Boynton, who plays Mary Austin, Mercury's ex-wife and best friend, is well cast, and she puts on an incredible performance, and she has such a perfect chemistry with Rami Malek that it's beautiful to watch. Um, I will admit the little reference to Wayne's World from Mike Myers was also very appreciated. Being a big fan of both Queen and Wayne's World, it was nice to see that in there. Um, the sound direction in this movie was superb. Lots of the songs being used in the scenes were to cause heavy emotion and effect, such as the use of Love of My Life, which was performed during a particular scene involving Mercury and Austin, as well as the use of Who Wants to Live Forever during the inevitable scene when Mercury discovers he's contracted AIDS. And no word of a lie, guys, like, that scene fucking broke me. I, I had, I actually did have tears down my eyes at that point. And it's not very often that a film will make me cry. So, like, the only real contenders for that has been, like, Molly and Me when the dog died. Oh, spoiler alert for Molly and Me. And, To be honest, the only one that comes to mind at the moment is Molly and Me. Maybe American Beauty. Um, but getting back to Bohemian Rhapsody, um, the most memorable scene in the film, of course, is the big closer, which takes place at Live Aid 1985. Now, the entirety of the sequence is done to perfection. The roaring crowds, the usage of the actual live music performed by Queen on that day in 1985, the entire scene just makes you feel like you're there in the crowd. And just the roar and everything, it just echoes through the theater, and it's so good. I can't even emphasize how good it is. While most people will potentially criticize the usage of the lip syncing, I personally feel as a Queen fan that it was the right call, since personally to me nobody could ever replicate the unique and specific sound that Freddie Mercury's voice had. And while people, can try to perform like or imitate, they ultimately fail. Just the actual use of Mercury's voice itself was a pure stroke of genius. And I mean, to be fair, Rami Malek does have a good set of vocals on him because there is parts where you can tell where he's singing. Um, I know another thing that a lot of people criticized was the fact that it does take liberty with time and it kind of like chops and changes certain time elements. But to me, that doesn't honestly bother me because at the end of the day, you're telling a movie, and as long as it does get the main points across of the true story, then that's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. So, I mean, all in all, I feel that if you're a fan of Queen, you are going to have an emotional thrill ride with this movie. You'll rock, you'll laugh, you'll cry. All to the way like the film essentially tells the story of the already iconic band. Um, my few personal issues, obviously, is that there were a few times I did feel like the film just skipped through the years. Like, it wasn't so much the fact that changed the years, it was more the fact that there was times that felt like they were skipping through the years. Because they just had scenes where Queen were performing on stage and there was like neon lights moving around, seeing all the different locations they were performing. I feel like that was a little bit lazy, but to be fair, I'm gonna let it slide. And I do also feel they could have maybe taken it just a tad darker. Not too much, obviously, but I just not to like the levels Baron Cohen wanted to take it to, but just maybe a little bit darker. I think that could have been a bit nice. But overall, if you are a Queen fan, this is definitely the movie for you. So overall, I think I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, if it wasn't for those few little gripes I have with it, it probably would have been a 5-star movie. If you do like this movie review, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more reviews and content coming in future. Hit the little bell to be notified. And until next time, everyone,